This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we're ready to get geeky with all of you. We got a hell of a crew. Dudders is off on Dud Simon. Actually, she's on a Dudcation, I think. And Chilla is doing something else. He got something else important going on. But we got a hell of a crew with us. So much so that you're going to wonder which podcast you're listening to if you happen to listen to a few on the network. First of all, he is back with us. He is from the iPhoneography podcast. He is Dave Podnar.
Hey, Sorg, how's it going tonight?
Yo! And also with us, representing Rizz Plays Games. Rizz Games to Plays.
Rizz plays Rizz games that he plays.
Yes, on the
often
Twitch.
On Twitch.
Yes. So Rizz.
Hi.
And also here representing himself. Ronnie Starks. It was I got a wide shot on you. Hold on.
Holy heck, hey. Sorg, you're making me look really fat, Sorg.
Closer.
Oh, hey.
Zoom in closer.
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 Woo!
Enhance.
Woo!
There you go.
That works.
I love you looking at the TV instead of the camera. So that's the camera.
Hi.
You're that one over there.
Hello,
hey,
camera.
Ronnie Starks.
No idea what's happening
Pro
right now.
Wrestling's Indie Wrestling's Ronnie Starks. is
Hey,
with us.
it's Tuesday.
But
You know what that means.
But he is the but you no you don't. I don't know what that means anymore because you're early.
I am
It's
early.
a different logo in the corner.
Holy, wait, where am I?
Oh, thank you for joining us, of course. So we got plenty of people to have geeky things. I don't think I briefed Ronnie. Do you have an awesome thing of the week coming up here? Because I didn't prep you for the show.
I'll just kind of make it up. As I
Okay,
go
here
along.
we go. We'll have you go last. You'll kind of get the vibe of it. You've done this show before, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I thought. Anyways, you check out everything at awesomecast.com where you can subscribe to the show. Hit us at awesomecast at sorgatronmedia.com. And, of course, follow us on Twitter at awesomecast. And you can also getting that document up there. There we go. Wasn't loading right. I think my original iPad Pro is starting to feel its age a little bit, guys. So, again, little funky over here. But anyways, you can also become part of the conversation with the AwesomeCast Facebook group on the Discord, which we had a couple new members drop in last week. A friend of Krause, and I think Brian Crawford jumped in there last week. So glad to see you guys have joined us and the chat over there about some stories going on. Also, we're on Reddit. If you're a Redditor, we've been posting the show over there and such. And if you want to get into any conversation, we're on there. Just nobody's really talking about anything over there right now. But so if you want to spice that up, please, welcome to go over there. And also, where are we at with we are here live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We are live on the Sorgatron Media Twitch, AwesomeCast Facebook page, the YouTube, and the Twitter page for all of those, and we do have the chat rooms for all those things up right now if you are joining us here live and to become part of the conversation. I do see Brandon out in Kansas City is joining us over on Facebook, and I see a few other numbers popping up. And hold on a second, Cat Butt. Oh, nope, there it is, Cat Butt.
Woohoo!
Cat butt.
Cat butt.
Cat butt.
There it is.
There it is. You can't have a podcast without a cat cameo on it, right? But
Again,
also,
audio listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
please
It's
subscribe
amazing.
to us. Well, we described there as a cat butt. I mean, then we'll just let their imagination go. Also, thanks to our friends at postindustrial.com for sharing the show to their people over there. And thank you, patreon.com/awesomecast, all of our Patreon supporters, including our new executive producer, Brian Crawford, our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Clossy, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound, and our friends at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Otter.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, how about that?
how about that?
So no Bo Diggity?
Oh, no, that's the wrong show. That's the other show. That's the other show.
Oh.
Although he's been on this show, I think, before. But yes. But again, you guys can support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast, and we appreciate your support to keep this show going. Let's get into our awesome things of the week. I do believe, I think the biggest news, looking at all these, not to diminish anybody else's awesome things, but the PlayStation situation, Rizz,
Finally,
as my resident, what the heck is going on in PlayStation world?
Finally.
Today,
I woke up and I, was about to go to work. I looked up my emails and there was an email talking about the new upgrades for PlayStation Now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh, this is neat. And then I started looking into it. They're finally doing what Xbox has done already.
What?
They're finally getting into the realm of having the entire library of PlayStation games at your fingertips.
Like early on PlayStation games?
Yes, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PSP, PS3,
Oh my God.
all of the library.
Nice.
And I'm not sure about what Xbox does. Sorg, you might want to correct me on this one. They're doing something I don't think Xbox does, which is the tier level.
Yes. Well, the closest thing to a tier level you have on Game Pass for Xbox is you can pay $9.99 for just the Game Pass on Xbox. I believe there's a $5 version for just PC, but I think you get the EA Play and the cloud with the Ultimate Edition at $15 a month. Which honestly sounds like kind of sort of comparable to what's going on here.
Yeah, because I can see that, because I saw in the article that I think the highest tier for PlayStation is $15 a month, I believe.
I will point out that you definitely have more games with this service, it seems. Because I believe Xbox Game Pass probably maxes out about $130, $150 when you add in the EA Game Pass and PC games. And I'm looking at numbers. When you look at the Plus Premium at $20 a month, they're saying about 340 additional games, but that includes games that are available on cloud streaming. So, which I think, when you have Game Pass and something is cloud streaming, those will also have a download to Xbox option. But this looks like kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but because I believe you've had for a while, the older games were exclusively in the streaming fashion, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Whereas there are several Xbox and 360 games you will be able to download onto an Xbox One or Series and play locally, which can be a factor for some people. Some people can't stream.
Now, with PlayStation Now, the old PlayStation Now, which was kind of lackluster and garbage, if you want to point it out that way, there was an option, if I remember correctly, to actually download it on the hardware.
Okay.
But again, a lot of people tried the streaming part of it, and there was I know I played at least 2 to 3 games on there, and each one of them, when I streamed it, when I tried to stream it through the PlayStation Now, didn't work. And it was very clunky, very had a very latent process where you click the button and wait for whatever it does.
And that's the biggest issue with it, because even I have an Xbox One, original one, plugged straight into the router, and it won't do cloud. But doing it on my iPhone on 5G, it works mostly perfectly if I have at least 2 bars. So I think a lot of people, because when they put this out here, and I feel like they don't talk enough about this is an ideal situation networking thing. Right? If you have your Xbox in your bedroom, the farthest point away from your modem on Wi-Fi, you're going to have a problem, right? Or you're on a device that doesn't have it. I noticed my MacBook Pro works pretty well in my bedroom, but other devices like my iPad do not. because they don't have as strong a Wi-Fi chip in them, right? Presumably. So it's cool, but it doesn't work for everybody. Like somebody pulled one out on our podcast, and I'm like, well, are you really set up for it? You just have this thing sitting on your desk. It just needs to look at web pages. It's going to be choppy. Most people's experience is going to be bad with this thing unless they have a really decent internet situation.
Like I know some people are actually saying, like, there was an interview with the Sony head, the CEO, and he was talking about it. And one of the things that's not going to happen, and I'm kind of on the fence with this thought process, but they're not going to start with the big headlining new games.
No, they're not doing
Like
they're not doing day and date.
No, they're not doing that. They're not doing God of War Ragnarok or whatever it's But I do see that some of the ones that they're coming out with day one, or not day one, the day one of launch, you got both Spider-Mans. You have Mortal Kombat. You have all these games that you can now play, and I'm trying to pull up the actual.
So I have the service will also include the following games when it launches. It does say Death Stranding, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, and Returnal. Actually.
Oh.
So.
By the way, if you haven't played Returnal yet, it's an amazing game to watch and play.
And even so it sounds like your Plus Essential is and Plus as it is, you have your streaming stuff with the older games, but you also have like 2 new downloadable games a month, right? Which sounds comparable to the Xbox Gold plan that they had, where which is still included in Ultimate or in Game Pass as well, where there's about 4 or 5 games a month that I get, and they are now part of your collection, right? Even if you cancel. In most cases, I think some of the Xbox One games don't do that or weren't for a time, where it's like only with subscription or something. But still, like they get in your library, and and this is just part of the service. So I think this is pretty good. I mean, we're talking about. I'm sorry. So I said this wrong. So the plus extra. Let's break this down for people. So you have the Plus Essential, which sounds like it's basically your kind of general Plus right now.
It's PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. So online
PlayStation Plus, I guess.
Yeah. Online multiplayer, 2 monthly downloadable exclusive discounts, cloud storage for save games. Sounds like Xbox Gold for me. But that starts at $10 a month. Ooh, it's iffy because you can get $10 and get like 130 games on Game Pass. Yeah. Plus Extra is all of those plus a catalog of 400 PS4 and 5 games, plus hits from PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party parties games extra tier for download.
Why did you do quotes there, Sorg?
What part did I?
Are you dissing their hits like Bubsy 3D?
That's just a weird qualifier to me, Bubsy 3D.
Look, if I can play Silent Hill 1, then I'll be fine.
But that's not a. Because that was specific. Did I say it was a hits from the PlayStation Studios catalog?
Yeah. So that's like the.
Yeah. So those are Sony.
That's like
games.
The Spider-Mans and the
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metals. And stuff like that.
The show and things like that, right?
Well, the show's no longer exclusive though.
Oh, absolutely. I saw there's another show coming out on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And then for a Plus Premium for $20, so that was a $15 tier. Like so $5 extra if you're already a Plus person. You get like 400 games. That's good. That's now you're better than Game Pass, right?
This next tier is good.
So at $20, you will get another 340 additional games, including PS3 games via cloud streaming. There's a lot of qualifiers in this. Catalog of beloved. This is according to Kotaku. Excuse me.
Kotaku. Yep.
Catalog of beloved. I'm sorry. The adjectives on this.
This is
classic games available on both streaming and download options from PS1, 2, and PSP. And then there's cloud streaming access for original 1, 2, P, and 4 games. What? Offered in the extra and premium tiers and markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using 4 and 5 consoles and PC. time-limited game trials will also be offered here. Well, we see that with the EA Play tier that's included in Game Pass. So, I'm sorry, that's $17.99 a month, not $20. And of course, they do have quarterly and yearly prices as well. So, that's really good. Like,
and that's not much. Like,
no.
That's $7 and I'm paying now, I think.
And
for now.
And for me as a Game Pass user, like I'm playing games I wouldn't have put like the money down for, not always like for day and date, but I mean, I am playing Halo, which was a day and date. Several Xbox games, Xbox Studios games I've been playing, and it's really nice. And even dipping your toe in some games like Tunic, I never would have downloaded Tunic, and now I've been playing it.
Yeah,
I need to play more of it, but I just found
I heard Bobby, our friend, Mauricio friend Bobby, talk about Tunic, and I really want to try it out.
It's pretty wonderful when you find your first page of the instruction manual, and it's like page 11, and all of it is pointing to other pages of the manual that you don't have yet. You're just like, oh, this is interesting. And then but anyways, it's very, for those who don't know, it's a very kind of an homage to like Legend of Zelda on Super Nintendo sort of game, but of course it's in newer graphics kind of situation. But it's definitely a throwback to that kind of era of those action RPGs. So no, this is pretty great. And for me, as somebody who's like, man, I'd love to get a PlayStation and just kind of like roll through some of the games, especially as PlayStation Studio games I've never had access to. Like this seems like a pretty cool thing. And I think I was saying beforehand, if there's a version of this that just said that I'm going to stream stuff to the PC, I'm down. So I think I hope it goes, because I feel like PlayStation service-wise has been a little weird with things. I harken back to the PSP days, and they had a little bit. Like I don't trust them. Like, I feel like software as a service is something Microsoft has perfected.
Which is why I'm really happy they don't have the newer games at the start. Like,
really?
Like yeah. Because if they did that, servers are going to crash nonstop.
Well, is that a Sony problem? Because I mean, I feel like that's everything video game problem. Halo was having a lot of glitches at the beginning of their multiplayer. WWE 2K just had like an insane amount of server issues in the advance. Only the people that put $100 down on this game got it.
I mean,
like for a week.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, they did a lot right with that game. So
they did,
but it was server issues notwithstanding. But yeah. So this is very interesting. Podnar, I don't know where you are on the video game front. Was this catch your interest at all?
Honestly, I'm not much of a gamer, so I mean, it's interest just because seeing everything move from, we've seen music. TV shows move away from, I'm going to buy this or I'm going to rent it, to, I'm just going to pay $10 a month, $15 a month to stream this, and never really own anything.
Yeah.
Which, for games, as long as as long as they give you the option to buy a game, which it sounds like there's still the option that, I still want to buy this and own this. And not only have it streaming, where your service can be cut off like that, or if, like I said, something happens, which I understand a lot of games are now you have to be online, so that kind of kills it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many online components that it wouldn't even make sense to say I want a disc that put in, at this point. So I mean, even I had a problem. I couldn't log into my Xbox 360 for some reason for a couple weeks here in the office, and it was like I can't even play games. All my stuff's in the cloud. Like all my save games are in the cloud, so I don't even have an option. This is a brick for me right now. So, but
I mean, I hate to say it, but when you were saying about streaming via PC, I mean, I know they have to write towards the hardware. That's why they have. But do we see in a couple of generations, basically it doesn't matter the hardware you
because if we're talking,
make a lot of money off the hardware, they're making it off the streaming.
Well, it's always been, they're making it off the games. The hardware's always been a lot sillier. And when we talk about writing the hardware, well, like when you do Xbox Game Pass, it's playing off of an Xbox. Like that's why there was a big thing about how if you play Flight Simulator on the Xbox Cloud, it's not full on because you can't do the mouse and keyboard, right? Because it's not supporting it through the cloud. Because I don't know if you could play the game on an Xbox with a mouse, or either way, it's not. Even if hypothetically, if you could plug a mouse and keyboard into the Xbox, which you can, I know for certain aspects, but for a game, if that is available on an Xbox, they have not activated it for the streaming portion, right? So, that, I mean, that's the big thing. Like, this is not, you're not playing a PC version of any of this stuff. You're playing, on the Xbox side, where obviously a lot of them have PC versions. So that's a big difference. But if it creates that, I mean, everybody wants subscription because now you have this guaranteed income, right? As Sony, as Microsoft, as Netflix, that's what changes the game for so many things. It was like, cool, now do we have the things that are bringing the eyeballs? That's what makes ensure we make mountains of money off your subscriptions every month, right? So
and that's why there's two different versions of a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Absolutely.
That's why there's the physical. You can have your physical copy of the game. We can put it in your shelf and whatnot. Or now the digital only version is a lot more appealing to people because now you have that entire library on your.
How much does that open things up? Not having to run to Walmart to get a disc. How many times have you, on a whim, says, "Yeah, I'll drop some money on this game and try it out"? Right?
I haven't been to a GameStop in years.
Right, and then they noticed. No, I mean this is part of that evolution. But also, when we move into this post-materialistic society that the millennials are all about, it makes a little much more sense for that too. So there you go. Let's get it. So we've only done awesome thing 1. So let's keep moving on. Podnar, what's your awesome thing?
Sure. Now. You can't notice it now because it's still daylight outside.
Yeah, what is
Yay!
this? What is this out here? What is that bright thing out here? Oh, that's a taco stand.
It's weird. Oh, well, that is a bright thing.
Yes.
That's a good bright thing. But one thing I noticed is just the way the room was set up. I have an overhead light kind of over me and a little behind me, so I was always backlit. And I've been looking for ways outside of having a white screen on the computer to act as a proper lighting. And I happened across from Walmart, and it's Monster Basic. So it is, there we go. Had a little issue there, sorry. These 2 little light bars. So there's another one down there. And you do get a little plastically remote control, so you can change the color. It's probably blowing out. So
it is a little bit, but you see there's a little bit of a change and stuff.
Yeah. So you have the different colors here, and there we go, red here. You kind of have to get it. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, you're behind it trying to flip it, so that makes sense.
Right, but they're both kind of connected up here. It is a USB-A connector.
Oh, really?
There we go. Yeah, which is kind of a shock.
Yeah.
But that works fine, mainly because I still have USB-A on my. I actually have it plugged into my work setup here, but
nice.
it works. It works fine for both, and they're bright enough. And since like I said, it was only $10, so it was like, you know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But they're pretty bright for giving me a little. There we go. Just turned it off and then turn it back on white here. So it gives me just enough as a front light here. And I could see using it like if you want to have a little bit of a backlight, but not powerful enough to, let's say, mood light a wall, which I've seen some people do with their light. But, for a nice little touch, to add a little extra light if you need some, so people can see your face instead of being in the dark, it's pretty good.
Absolutely. I've had something similar. My brother gave me also a Monster thing like that, same remote and everything. And I think it has some home, like I can hook up the Google Home and stuff. It's an orb. that does the same thing.
Oh.
So I just kind of have that off to the side, and it's throwing a little bit of light on me when I'm doing things in the office, or just giving me light in the office, to be quite honest, even if it is a deep purple. So no, those are really nice. Like I'm amazed. I didn't know before that Monster had a lighting brand. I only knew them for the cables, and I hadn't bought Monster cables, and I don't know how long. I mean, I've been monoprice for so long, or whatever Amazon gets me. I'm just like, so many of my cords have Amazon Basics on them. But no, that's pretty cool. So it is nice because like things like this, or is there any smart functionality? Is it just a straight? Yeah, it's just a straight.
It's just a straight plug-in with the remote control. But honestly, like I said, for $10, and yes, they are cheap plastic. I mean, you can definitely tell that they're $10, but they're throwing off a good amount of light, and the remote seems to work pretty good, so it isn't too kludgy. I mean, especially if you're not trying to do it behind the scenes on camera, it works pretty good. So, I'm pretty happy with them, and they seem to make a little bit of a difference, especially when it gets a little bit later, and the only light is the room light. It's bringing up enough light where it doesn't look like I'm in a dark room.
Yeah, just something that just kind of even things out a little bit, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I like that. So again, that is the nope, they went away. Monster Montclair LED light bar, and for a pair of them. So you can check it out for $10 at Walmart.com. We'll have a link in the show notes as well. So my thing is, I actually visited Podnar's work the other day, and I was. This is a slightly awesome thing, and I might do a couple of these here to kind of throw them together. I'm noticing some quality of life improvements between there and again, some things I'm seeing attending a show here. And it's just one of those, I don't know if this is just kind of a coming out of COVID and experiencing things and the upgrades that go along with it. So, and I don't know how much I can show with this thing because there's like, I don't know, I think I signed an NDA for the first time with this company. But they had here, I think this is safe. I don't want to show the QR code because I'm afraid what that'll get into. But and Podnar, if I show something, then just tell me stop. If we'll fix it in post. Will do. But no, they're just like, oh, you sign in on the thing now, and I'm like, okay. Before I was like, look in this webcam, and we'll print out a new badge for you, right? Yeah. And I just love that this is like on an iPad. It's this Envoy system, and it's for our friends over at SAE that we do. I do a lot of work with, with the Baja and everything. We'll be going out with them next week for our design. And it was just like sign in there, and you sign the whatever NDA premises disclaimer kind of thing, and they did have a scanner type to sign in with the QR code, and I just out of a test I took it real quick, and I could have filled the entire thing out on my phone. So like I'm presuming if it's one of those, if you're like there for an event and multiple people are lining up to get this thing, you can just grab a quick thing of the QR code and go ahead and process it. I got a badge and an email for my being there. I got like a follow-up like survey for my visit, I guess. So it was like there was a lot of stuff with this, and it's usually just a security guard saying, "Look at the webcam," and it does do that. I got to take my picture, and they'll print it out on that bad black and white printer for the sticker and everything. So I thought that was interesting. It kind of stuck out to me. I don't know. I don't know. You probably don't have to deal with it since you have an employee badge there or anything, right?
Right. So, yeah. I mean, the only time we would have to deal with it is if we lost our badge. And we have to get a temporary one until they can print us a new one, which they can do pretty quickly. They can do that pretty quickly. But I would say years ago, before our current setup, and I mean before COVID even, our department had to work on the main desk occasionally. So
I remember that.
So and I remember the old system where basically it was, we had to, for someone coming in, we had to ask the person for their information, type it in the screen as they're doing it, as they're giving it, or they'll give us
that's one thing he said. I said, if your badge is misspelled, it's your fault now. Yeah. So a lot of pressure off of them.
Well, because pre-COVID, we did have, training in the office. Yep. We had some committee meetings come in. So
we had a giant educational event for AutoDrive in the building one time. So yeah absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, just a matter of, oh, there's a group of 15 people out here just kind of milling in the conference room, waiting for one person to start typing in. And that was also at one time the switchboard. Mm-hmm. So you actually had to staff the switchboard and deal with these people in front of you, and it was so that's a major improvement.
So it's streamlined, plus a proper security guard to look threatening for any bad actors that may be walking up and like
Jordan's keeping a good eye on.
Yes, he is. He's good. It's always good to see him. So that was fun, and also like I've also been interested. Like I talked about before. Last time I visited the arena was for again WWE. I only go to wrestling, guys. And there was the self checkout like market there, but this time I went through and we walked through the other side of it, and I saw and it wasn't running, and I don't know if it's running yet. I'll have to ask Stutters. But there is like a mobile food ordering, and it's like the old like 50s like food on the shelf. You put the coin in kind of thing. Yeah, the automat. The old automat, right? Or if you've seen Dark City. Sorry, that's where I know it from. But anyways, I'm gonna watch that movie again, see if it holds up. But I thought that was interesting, and also like again, kind of this is the first time I saw this at WWE. They kept advertising shirts during the show, and you could pull up the QR code, and there's an entire WWE shop for the show you're at. So you could order actually you could order, there's an example. Ronnie's got the shirt, the exclusive Stone Cold Yinzer 316 shirt that I was milling over getting that for the entire night.
I'm surprised you didn't buy it.
I was also wearing my Matt Light Yin's New World Order shirt. So I figured, you know what? I got a cooler shirt that supports a local guy. But anyways, that was my rationale for not spending $35 on a shirt. Plus, I'm sure I'll get something at WrestleMania. But anyways, if I didn't have that coming up, I would have got it, Ronnie. I really probably should have. I would have. Never should have.
I jumped right on it as soon as I saw it.
Yes.
I'm like, I need this.
As long as you're not like the guys that walked out during CM Punk's promo to go get the CM Punk shirt. So that was crazy. Anyways, but yeah, you could QR code it, and then there was just a pickup, so you didn't have to stand in line and deal with the riffraff. You just walked up and like give your name, and they're like, here's the Yinzer shirt, you know, and there's like a selection of like some of the top shirts that they were selling at the time. Like I think there's a Kevin Owens Stone Cold T-shirt and things like that. I know it's the wrong show, but no, it was just one of those interesting like that's the first I'd seen that. I don't know if they've been doing it for a while, maybe at the bigger like Raws and as opposed to the house shows, maybe, because I remember there was no advertisement on that in the house shows. But it makes a lot of sense because one of the pain in the ass is like I don't want to sit here in line to get them, and then I don't want to wait at the end of the night and they're out of my size. You just like take care of it, and that's this convenience thing, right? Where you can from online ordering and walking up to the desk at Starbucks to or Sheets, which we practically live off of online ordering on Sheets on the road here. But like I don't have to sit around and wait for crap. I just need to like order my crap and then walk in at the proper time, and it should be good to go. Like that next step in convenience, I think is really, really interesting. So but I don't know, just a round of creature comforts there. Ronnie, go ahead.
Well, so now, was it only the Pittsburgh specific stuff you could order? You could order it all there.
It was not, or was
it limited?
It was not everything. I don't know. I flipped through it real quick, and it felt like it was it was like a smattering of like 4 or 5 shirts probably. Okay. So
they had the I Was There T-shirt. They had the Yinzer. They had the Kevin Owens Austin shirt, and then I think there's 2 other ones that they had.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't still have. Actually, it might be in my Safari here. And I don't know if you could like still go to it. It's like eventshop.shop.wwe.com maybe. Yeah, here it is. Pre-orders. So I mean, this is the screen here. It says pre-orders are closed because it was just live probably for the event last night. Right. But it's if you wanted to see it, I believe it is just eventshop.wwe.com. So I'm wondering if like when SmackDown's happening or when Raw's happening next week, if you could just go to this URL and see what the local things is. You can't order them. I mean, you could order them, but you're not there in Dallas or wherever they are that night, to do it. So, but you could like see, hey, what are the local things? Just out of curiosity, I guess, right? So that was interesting. Ronnie, what is your awesome thing?
All right, let me pull this up.
There you go. What you got?
I actually was prepared for this.
Okay.
All right, so
He has a speech. He wrote something.
I don't have a speech, but I have a. I like to point out that this week, with NECA and Target, they're doing something called a holothon. And I don't know if you can.
Is there somewhere I can look up there real quick?
I'll just send you the picture. Real quick.
Yeah, send me the picture. So what is a holothon?
The holothon is basically Target and NECA have a specific website where hold on a second. A specific website that you go to in order to order these special items for the holothon that is happening. But also, when they go up for sale, it's a 4-week event. It started last week. It ends on April 8th is the last week. This is where, as you can see, there's an elf puppet at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, elf!
It's pretty awesome. It's huge. I want it. I haven't got around to it. But there is Robot Bebop.
Ninja Turtles.
And then there's NECA Universal Monsters, and then I think that's Caroline.
I think Coraline, the Tim Burton movie.
And then there's
Gizmo and Bob Ross.
Yeah, but that was this week's pre-orders. But I pre-ordered. Oh, I didn't have to pre-order because I found it in store. But also, when the second week's pre-orders go up, they show up at the NECA, or they show up at your local Targets. So this coming week, they haven't announced it, but that'll show up Friday or Saturday. So you either order it online or you suck it up and you go to 5 or 6 Targets and hope for the best.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know Katie's been big on the Target exclusives and things. They're looking for some like pink Mandalorian pops and things like that. So like and I don't know if I said on this show, but I was at a Target for some weird reason, just kind of wasting time, and I found the NECA shelf, and I got Missy from wherever she was looking at things. I'm like, listen, look at all this. Take me away from it.
It's a very dangerous. NECA owns so many properties.
Yes.
That is extremely
license at least. Yeah.
Extremely dangerous. So if there's something you're looking for, they're probably doing it. Such as gargoyles. They're now doing gargoyles. They just dropped Bronx, and everybody's out right now.
Nice.
But what's the female character?
I honestly I remember watching some gargoyles, but I never watched enough to know the characters.
But she was just in the holothon for the first week. So she disappeared off the shelves real quick.
Wow.
But Bronx came out this week, and then the rest of them come out next week and the last week.
The collecting market just preying on preying on us.
Yeah, if you know what you liked as a kid, and if you're looking for it,
God, nostalgia marketing. I mean, that's all WWE is these days, is nostalgia marketing. I just watched the Hulk Hogan documentary from WWE Evil. So what did I say beforehand? I'm like, it really got my member berries going. As if I've never watched anything about Hulk Hogan in the NWO era before. But still, it was really well done. Wow. So go check that out. So where do people find it?
You go to www.target.com, and it'll have a specific link that says this week's ad items for the holothon. Okay. It'll be on the main page. And also, there's a holothon website, but I don't know if that's for U.S. customers or if that's for international, because there was a big thing that happened the first week.
Nice.
But the international orders took for U.S. residents, and people have been getting their stuff. It was a mess.
That's crazy.
But yeah, Target.com or the Target app, if you have the Target app like me. Let me pull up my Target app.
Are you a red card holder?
I will not disclose that.
I think you should for as much as you purchased there.
I do. I just got one last week.
Good.
But yeah, download the Target app card and go on there, and it'll send you reminders of when the items go on sale on Friday morning at 9 a.m.
And you can get a discount on the Starbucks.
5%.
There you go. Awesome. Some good stuff there. Hey, you know what also is good? Our good friends at Slice on Broadway at sliceonbroadway.com. If you want to check out more New York City style Yinzer made supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. It's in the other room. in the kitchen there, Ronnie. If
I'm
you
going
want
to
to
get
go
one
grab some,
when we finish up.
all right, there you go. There you go. A little warmer than when you usually come in later.
Good.
That's why I put it by the microwave in case anybody needs to warm it up, because I know we got a lot of people coming for mayhem tonight. But anyways, go check them out. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. They're on the DoorDash. They're on the Grubhub. So if you're outside or general delivery area, like the Rizz is very familiar with, he's not in there, is yes.
I forgot to do that. I forgot to do the thing I normally do when I get it, Sorg, which is text you a picture of the actual map,
yes.
and then forget to text you the actual picture of a non-eaten pizza because the aroma of pizza
Yes.
does not get that.
It comes through.
You just need to have this pizza.
It just shows up and he forgets himself and becomes like the Cookie Monster of pizza.
Look, man, it's the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Yes, it
for
is.
Pittsburgh podcasting.
That is. Thank you so much to our good friends over at Slice on Broadway.com. All right, I got a couple stories here for the back end. All right. I am concerned about sharing this, considering what we do here and what we use. But according to Engadget, Zoom's new animal avatar are like Animoji for meetings. So this is what the podcast could look like if you're on video. We could have Rizz as a cow and Podnar as a bunny and Ronnie as a raccoon.
Absolutely.
With these matching backgrounds, of course. I love the pink bunny matches the pink flowers in this thing.
I am now officially Ronnie Raccoon.
I mean, we played a little bit with, and unfortunately, the computer I'm actually running Zoom on is kind of a lower end computer, so I don't think I can use these high end 3D things as much. But we've seen like the rooms like you can do where it'll put your face, crop it out, kind of the same effect that like Rizz is using for his background blur, right? Or I mean, actually, or I mean, it's just room is just generally blurry. Maybe that's the motif. I don't know.
Judgment,
Yes, but like
you don't want to see here.
No, you don't want to see what's going on over there. But it'll crop you out and then put you like in like a meeting room or something, and you're kind of floating there, and it's really interesting, but mostly awkward. So this is their next bit of trying to get. I don't know if you guys are able to. Let's see. You'll need Zoom 5.10.0 or later on iOS, Mac, or Windows devices. I don't know if Rizz or Podnar.
No, I got 5.9.
5.9. Okay, if you're able to.
Would I?
You want me to? Oh, we're doing a live thing here, huh?
I have to check my app.
So
yeah, we're gonna do it live.
Software. So wherever it changes, I'm unable to pull Zoom settings.
Is it the
up here.
background?
It could be in that background thing. It could be.
on the app right now.
Inject some life and won't be surprised.
Studio Effects.
Studio Effects could be it.
I have version 5.10 on my phone.
You got 5.10?
I do.
Do it.
Where?
I don't think he has the link for it. So.
Can you send me the link?
Okay, but mute yourself if you do this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll send you this, and we'll see if this works on here. I should probably do the same thing.
I am trying to figure out. I'm not sure if I have it or not.
Okay. Did you see what version you are?
Where did I find that?
I don't know.
Are you
Podnar found it.
The shoot, or are you sending?
Well, I also have. You have Mac or PC, Rizz?
PC.
Okay, it should be under your help and then about Zoom.
Join Zoom.
No, I need to get out of this one. Hang on. Keep going.
Keep going.
All right, I'm joining video.
Okay, he's joining video.
Okay.
I'll have to do a little something here
I do have the latest. I have the latest in my on my phone.
On your phone, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to change this up a little bit so we can see Ronnie.
Okay.
Ronnie, have you had any luck over there?
No, I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Oh, you know what it is? I bet it's view and immersive. Because the one thing I do, I want to do this live, and I'm hoping this works.
Hold on, I gotta mute myself.
Oh yeah, you got muted all out.
How
So
do I go
if you hit immersive, you see this thing. So this is what I was talking about before. and we test this, and I don't know how well this is going to work.
Background and effects.
But I can do this where, and you see that everybody kind of pops up.
Yeah. All right,
Oh, wow.
Filter now.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. If you're on video with us, everybody's kind of popped up in like kind of a riser classroom kind of situation. Even Ronnie on the couches since he's sitting in Zoom. And I guess, hold on, no audio. I guess I can too. Oh, look, I'm popping up too. Hello there. Hello, classroom.
Hello.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Hey. All right, nobody throw any paper airplanes or anything at this, or anything like that. So, and of course, it gets weird in the middle because we're also broadcasting back our feed.
Yeah.
So, and I realize I'm putting this in front of the other camera. So, like, I'm doing this while you guys are. I am so sorry, podcast people. But anyways, this is really interesting. We'll have to see about that. But anyways,
we have to.
Now I got to figure out how to turn this off so we can do a proper show. So
we're keeping it like this.
We're keeping it like this.
I left the meeting. Sorry.
You know what? Actually, later we have something. We're gonna have multiple people on here. Stop immersive. Hopefully, I don't hang up on you guys. We're gonna have multiple people in here for a special for Wrestling Mayhem show. If there's enough, I may use this. I really might. So,
That'd be hilarious.
So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I'm gonna take myself out of this. So we haven't found it. We haven't found the animals yet. Not yet. We'll find it. We may not. I don't know. Maybe most of us maybe not actually have the proper
Unless I have to
version.
do it on my laptop for the animals.
That might be. It says iOS. iOS, Mac, and Windows devices, not Android. Out of the way. Only animals like cats, dogs, and foxes are available for now, but Zoom is teasing more avatars in the future, as we saw with.
What if they have avatars? Like I'm talking like.
By the way, I watched We Crashed, the newest episode last night, and there's a part. Spoiler alert! Where oh God, what's her name that's in it? That was Anne Hathaway is dressed as an Avatar character for some. I don't even know why she did. I missed what the point was. And then America Ferrera was dressed as a mummy for some reason. I was like, I missed the context for whatever reason.
Are you sure you weren't half asleep when this happened?
I might have already taken my nightly gummies. So,
Sorg, let me ask you, what version of Zoom do you have?
That you're on here?
Yeah, that you're running on the computer, because it may be that.
Oh, that might be the thing.
You're hosting it, and if you're not up to 5.10, because I just joined the meeting on my mobile device, which I muted, and I'm not getting that option.
Let me see if I could take a quick look here. And you said just kind of in about or something, general.
Yeah, on the Mac, it would be under upper left Zoom US and about Zoom.
Yeah, I don't have that here. I'm on a PC.
Oh, okay.
So
it would be, then it would be helping and about.
Then
or at least normal.
Then I'm going to have to take you out of full script. This is a process here.
Right. Understood.
Understood. I don't think we're going to be able to do that right now.
Maybe update before Mayhem show.
Maybe we'll play with it for
Mayhem in the bank.
We'll play with it maybe a little bit for gold or something if we have the opportunity in between. So, Spotify is reportedly moving live audio conversations to its main app. Is this like a Twitter Spaces thing? I think.
Or what's the other one that was popular before Twitter
Clubhouse.
Spaces took off?
Is this
Clubhouse?
Clubhouse?
Yeah, it's like Clubhouse. Yeah.
Okay, live video. It's rebranding its live audio app that was Green Room as Spotify Live. Now, is this a wide open one? I felt like this was more for. This is a place where creators can hold conversations that subscribers can listen to. It's not required to use Green Room to have a Spotify account, but the product is moving to the main streaming app itself. I feel like this is more for the for the artists themselves to be a part of, right? I don't know if you can start a Green Room perhaps, but it is a lot of auto feature. It is pointing it. Yeah, nobody says Clubhouse anymore because everybody forgets it's a thing. Remember, it's like Periscope versus Meerkat, right? And man, I knew as soon as I saw Clubhouse, everybody else was going to adopt it, and it was going to be Meerkat. I knew it. It's the thing that moves the needle, and then all the big companies just imitate it and kill it.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it's also like that's the problem. That's the monopoly issue that I think a lot of us are I guess politicians mostly, and pundits are discussing when it comes to those kinds of things. So How
Well, honestly, I can see especially Spotify making it where it's only the big, it isn't anyone can go and create it.
Mhm.
It's, oh, you want to have a special live talk that you can somehow interact with, a let's say podcaster.
Yeah.
Or something like that, where it's exclusive on, oh, you come to my Spotify live exclusively on Spotify to do it. Because otherwise, other than a couple of podcasters who are exclusive to Spotify, why should I, if you're doing it for podcasting, why should I do that over Overcast or Apple Podcast or another open, unless you really want to listen to those couple people that Spotify's paying multi-million dollars to be exclusive. This is something they can say, hey, this is come to our platform. You can have this exclusive thing where you can have more interaction, and we'll pay you more money because we can get more interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you're going to have, let's say one of the larger one, all of a sudden you got 1,000 people in the room trying to talk and interact. I don't know how well that's going to work.
No, absolutely. And by the way, this article I'm showing here from The Verge is from friend of the show, Kim Lyons, writing, by the way. So I just want to give a shout out for that. I don't know. I love when I've accidentally put one of our friends of the show in the articles, section. But that's pretty cool. Tweet. I hope I spelled byline right. But anyways, I don't know. It's it's just going to be everywhere. It's just going to be this other persistent thing, like basically TikTok's in every app now, right? So TikTok is kind of the outlier, isn't it? Because I feel like what does it take for some app to not unseat Twitter and Facebook, but be able to coexist in this day and age? Because remember, like 10 years ago, when everybody had a wild idea and there were these, everything from your Plurk to your Twitter to your Eventbrite and Foursquare and not Eventbrite. That's not right. Eventbrite.
I'll say I didn't know.
What am I thinking? What started with the E? Event or Kite, something Kite. Is it Event Kite? Was that the Foursquare competitor? Anyways, but things like that. It was always like it was that wild west of startups and social and using your phones and technology, and sometimes your flip phone with text messaging before they got big. And now it just feels like any startup is just waiting to get bought by Google or Facebook at this point, and it's just kind of sad, really. It's like I'm building a thing that's going to be a feature in a bigger app.
I mean, aren't we all just waiting to get bought out by Google?
I mean, if they came to my podcast, if I had a Spotify company, I can't say that I wouldn't take the money. But I don't think I got the numbers for them to come to me. But anyways, no, I've been joking. I've been waiting for Yajagov Media to get big enough to absorb us. So we have our own Pittsburgh conglomerate. But anyways, no, it's just one of those things. I don't. Well, again, I'm watching We Crashed. I that Silicon Valley show is still fresh in my head, and all of those things, and that just kind of it's a different era, and I miss the. Yeah, I just missed that exciting startup era, but I guess it's kind of flattened itself. So,
I mean, you figure some of these companies are, if you look at valuation of stock, they're worth more than the quote unquote blue chippers of old days.
Yeah, not even Google. Google's gone past that. Where how many blue sky projects, and now it's just like, well, there's something they're going to kill by the time I get used to it. I mean, it really is. It's a freaking mess over there, and I don't know how they're generally doing as a company. I think they still live on search basically to fund everything else. But as I'm looking at a story about Google Photos makes it easier to import and organize your pics, yay, but I'm just so, you're just so disenchanted. Like I don't know, like they've been trying to sell you the promised land of technology for so long, and in some places, it kind of has arrived, sure. But sometimes, Google projects is kind of a wasteland. I'm seeing articles today about the gaming people for Amazon and Stadia just leaving in droves from those ideas. I'm glad I didn't buy a $60 game off of Stadia or Amazon, you know? So I feel like that would have been, I don't know. I'm sure they're going to just like give you Steam codes or something when they shut it down, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you figured that the last major switch in revolution was when iPhone came out and Android switched from BlackBerry clone to iPhone similar. I don't want to call it a clone because I don't want Android people to be mad at me. But if you look at Android before and after iPhone,
we've looked back.
Yeah,
it's a clone. Like they went their own direction, but it started as a clone.
Yeah,
they changed it because they saw the iPhone. It says we need this, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but that was like the last major revolution in terms of platform, something new. Because the iPad and tablets, they do what they do, but it's very similar to your phone. The watch, you know, basically the smartwatch market is the Apple Watch and Fitbit, which got bought out by Google. But in terms of a smartwatch, Apple owns the entire market. So you really don't have, everyone's waiting, like virtual reality, augmented reality is the next big thing to change everything. But there still isn't that killer reason to have it.
I feel like there's a longer conversation we're going to get into, so we're going to hold it for one moment.
But I'm saying in terms of the stagnation, we're waiting on the next, this breaks the, you know, this breaks the how we're working right now.
You mean a disruption in technology?
A complete one, yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's been one of those since Uber. And we see how well that's faring.
I believe that's called Skynet.
That might be the next disruption. By the way, I want to do something special here in a second since somebody just walked in. But in the meantime, I just got this tweet. A friend of the other show. He's a friend to us all. Jim LaMotta, a wrestling commentator that works with Rise Wrestling here in the area. He just sent me this tweet. He says, "Dear Sorgatron, this is how I want to get to the desk for commentary. Please make it happen. Love, Jim." And this is one of those, I think you've seen it before, but this is one of those hover bike situations. Well, let me go a little earlier. There you go. That's how he's going to get in. But first of all, you're going to go right through the drop ceiling and you the venue. I don't know what is this? It's just a guy hover jetting.
Game.
Oh, this is during a baseball game?
Yeah, I think it's a relief pitcher.
It's a relief pitcher. What the hell? It's in Japan.
Wow.
Well, I'm looking at how he's kind of, well, maybe not, but it kind of looks like a baseball field.
I think so.
I could be completely wrong. I could be 100% wrong.
But they love the zooms there in Japan. I want to start bringing that to American indie professional wrestling, American low-level indie professional wrestling. So what was it?
That's a baseball. I think it's a baseball unit. Yeah.
It looks like it.
Who wouldn't be shocked if we saw that at next year's Mania?
Oh, absolutely, or anything like that. Man, that is so much fun. Where were we when somebody said they were setting up? They're like, "Hey, make sure this shot happens," and I was like, "Yeah, we'll completely do like a Japanese zoom, you know, rainmaker kind of shot for you." And I can't remember if we ended up doing it or not. But anyways, so. Sorry, I have to put that. Hey, Ronnie, can you, Chad the Shad of the Wrestling Mayhem Show just walked in. I want to get his opinion on a story earlier real quick. Since you're here, I was going to have you just move the thing over to him, but let's see if I can switch up here. And I think that camera is, that camera is not live. Over there. I mean, that microphone's not live for this recording since we were not prepared. So, I was just gonna have you swing the arm over to him, but this works too. This works too. It's kind of like on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. People just kind of walk in and we throw them on the couch. So
just have him hold the microphone for Chad.
Yeah, there you go. Just hold it Mean Gene style for him.
Yeah, make it.
And be like, and why did you turn on the fans? So no, the reason I want to so go pull that. So Chad, as you're getting prepared there, we talked about the new PlayStation news today with the quote PlayStation Game Pass kind of thing, and I know you're a very big PlayStation person, so I just want to get your thoughts on it real quick before we get out of here and get ready for the next show.
Yeah, sure.
So, you're taller. You're definitely taller than the other guy.
No, just shoot my chest.
Yes, there you go. I would just leave it there.
This is Ronnie now. Yeah, I actually saw it this morning, and I had talked in my my group chat with Doc Remedy and such, and we were expecting that because it leaked last week, like, hey, tier system might be coming, you know, maybe next week. And then this morning, just out of the blue, they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, here's our 3-tier system.
Yeah.
Here's our pricing. Here's what it's going to be.
Yep.
And I'm okay with it.
Like they made a big deal in email.
Yeah.
Good.
It's kind of like
No press conference.
Yeah.
No Zoom meeting.
It's kind of like they knew what it was, so they didn't make a bit like it's not a big deal because they have PlayStation Now, they have PlayStation Plus, they're folding it in. If you want to keep doing the same thing you're doing right now with PlayStation Plus, nothing changes. Which is,
I mean, Xbox is the same thing. You can completely just do gold and you're cool, right? But it's just like as you look at it, you're just like, well, why wouldn't I do this other thing? You know, so I like, hey, $5 more, and you get, you know, and even yours, like your top tier is like only $8 more a month.
Yeah, it ends up being what, $119 a year.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I immediately thought of is, the single tier now is like $60. I think it was $59.99 for a year.
Yeah.
I never have paid a full $60 for PlayStation Plus because I always get it on sale somewhere, like IGN or tech deals or something. Always is like, hey, full year PS Plus 20. It's end up being like $39.99.
Same thing. I'll get like 3-month cards off of Amazon or Black Friday or something and just stack them up. Right. I think I just got back to full price for Game Pass, because I just haven't looked for anything at a discount yet for a little bit, you know, or even just going on CD keys and getting something, right? So I mean, that's like kind of negligible in the long run.
They have deals all the time, so I was thinking like, oh, so I probably won't pay full price for whatever tier I decide, for whatever tier I do decide to do. I think I may give the high tier a shot just to see what's on it, just because, you know, I've been with this PlayStation life cycle since I had a paper route as a boy, and I bought my first PlayStation with paper route money.
And that's the thing. I think it's why, you know, PlayStation lost me after like 3. I just like, I don't, you know, that's when
3 was a rough cycle.
Yeah,
3 was tough.
Like Xbox picked up, and I was like, I think I trust Xbox more in this, you know.
3 was expensive.
And I feel justified in that, because that's where I feel like the ecosystem, you know, like I'm happy with the ecosystem at Xbox. Not to say I wouldn't have been if I stuck with PlayStation the whole time, but there were compatibility issues and things like that.
Well, Xbox also leaned more towards the PC gamer. So if you played at all on a PC, you kind of felt like you were buddies with Xbox to begin with. Just the whole Microsoft thing. Especially now with Game Pass and Xbox Game
coming Xbox One, it can't really.
It's
because I remember the Live for Windows era. Oh boy, was that! I got like 2 games out of that era. Like I think I got Arkham Asylum and GTA 4 on that, and it was ugly. And then they got rid of it, and then my save game didn't work anymore. So that's why I haven't completed Arkham Asylum, because I was like most of the way through it.
News today: if you play Everybody's Golf, they on PlayStation, they are shutting down the online servers in September.
Oh,
RIP. Love Everybody's Golf. Everything else would be fine, single player, just online multiplayer.
This is the
and
next
leaderboards and stuff.
This is the next thing, you know, because like they shut down the Halo 2 servers and things like that. Like these open source projects sometimes are resurrecting some of these game servers, because that's not, now you've got like, hey, are we really going to be able to go back and play Destiny, 10 years from now?
No.
20 years from now. You won't, because it was an online game.
You can't go back and play Destiny. You can't play the main campaign of Destiny 2 right now. You can't do it.
Yeah. Even as it is.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
it's gone.
Even
like, you can't access the story missions.
It's now free. It's now free to play because it's multiplayer.
And they've cycled out levels that were in that main story.
Wow.
You can't even those worlds are gone.
Well,
They're completely devoid. Like,
and then like even I look at like Forza, like for Microsoft, so much of that game doesn't actually run on your system.
Right.
It runs in a server. Like there's mathematics that happen there. I was watching it was several weeks ago. I talked about who was it? Ars Technica, I think, was doing these war journal with gaming developers, and they talked about how the mathematics for the simulation are mostly done on a server because it's more than your Xbox can handle, right?
Right.
And I think that was an Xbox One thing. They said some of these games will run on the Azure servers, even if you got a disk in your system. That's why they needed the online all the time, right? Because these games are, consistently all.
And you're gonna get into troubles with that online stuff.
You're
just like Gran Turismo 7 did recently.
Oh, really?
They released a patch, and they made some changes, and it broke the PlayStation Plus like entry point to Gran Turismo 7 because it was. And always it has live service stuff on it, and it wrenched it up.
Broke. Yeah.
And they were like, ugh.
Wow, that's wild.
So they had to go back and redo another patch.
They
gave me a free million credits for it. So
there you go. Well, it's we're gonna build this thing. We could build a bigger thing, but it's on the servers, and it's kind of like they're doing that, benefit analysis. And the point is to sell you a game now, right? It really is to sell you a game now when the developers put these things together. The World of Warcraft isn't the same now as it was when it first came out, right? So these persistent worlds, and like I'd love to, because I remember reading about it, I was like, man, I kind of wish I could go back and play a Matrix Online. After like the movie came out, I was reading up on some stuff, and I remember the old Enter the Matrix game and things like that. Those experiences. So I don't know. There's gonna be a Wayback Machine. There's gonna be an archive.org for like online games somewhere when. The mass of running an online game, like a Star Trek Online on a server, is something that fits on, I was going to pull up a thumb drive, but all I have is this 3D printed bus. So, it fits on this, and that's your online world, and it's, you stick it in, and there you are. Like, there's going to be something, because just game preservation as it is now, somebody down the line will figure it out with future technology where it's real easy to do that. So.
Right. Well, we're at solid state drives now, so
exactly. So it's coming. Well, thank you, man. We our regulars weren't here, so we just like opened the floodgates with everybody tonight.
How did I know?
I know, right? And then we got some special stuff happening at Wrestling Mayhem Show, our big fan night over there with the Patreon in the bank. I won't explain it here. If you were into it, you were into it. And also, like, everybody on the show is a Wrestling Mayhem Show contributor. So, but thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dave Podnar, for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on, Sorg.
Plug things.
Iconography podcast, Twitter, Instagram Prof Pod, and TikTok Prof Pod PGH.
Fantastic. And the Rizz at Rizz Plays Games on the Twitch.
Yes, and I'm actually going to be playing the My Rise character creation career mode on stream with somebody that I created called Danny Super Smooth Stubbs.
There you go.
And yeah, he's what you would expect in a custom creator when I'm creating a wrestler.
Excellent.
Which is not a wrestler at all.
Such a fun game. Chad the Chad on the tweets.
Yep.
You have anything to plug?
Boy.
You guys are still doing Twitch stream, aren't you?
No, yeah, part of I right now do not have anything running on the Fetch Quest channel on Twitch. Check us out. Doc Remedy does every Monday evening. Our other friend Shane runs a random stream every Wednesday. And we also have our friend who does Quest Championship Wrestling. A little half-hour or so show every week. Check it out. It's running on, I think, 2K18 right now.
Nice.
but it will be updated soon. The creator is he edits and cuts his show, then does voice.
Nice.
And calls it.
Nice.
It's not bad. Check it out. It's over at Fetch Quest on Twitch.
Excellent. And, of course, thanks, Ronnie Starks, for being here as well. Starks Wrestling on Twitter. Thanks, Ronnie! He says you're welcome if you didn't hear him on the mics. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.